Israel is expected to commence a ground offensive into Gaza after amassing troops at the border this week. The Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, said it was preparing to implement a wide range of offensive operative plans, which will include an integrated and coordinated attack from the air, sea and land against Hamas in Gaza. The IDF added that it had already completed its mobilization of hundreds of thousands of servicemen for the counteroffensive, according to a statement translated by NBC News. Ahead of the looming ground operation, roughly 1.1 million Palestinians were given 24-hour notice to evacuate northern Gaza. The order was heavily criticized by many humanitarian agencies, as it would be logistically difficult to move so many people within that time frame. That deadline has now passed, with no signs of an incursion yet. The Gaza Strip faces a staggering humanitarian crisis after Israel cut off supplies of food, fuel, water, and electricity. The densely populated area has been hammered in retaliation for Hamas' brutal attack on Israel last weekend. The death toll continues to tick higher, with at least 1,300 killed in Israel and 2,200 in Gaza. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is set to meet with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh at 7:30 a.m. local time, 12:30 a.m. ET, a U.S. official said. The meeting comes as Blinken is scheduled to depart for Egypt later in the day, where he is expected to discuss a tentative agreement to grant Americans in Gaza safe passage through the Rafah border crossing. Separately, the UNRWA warned 2 million people are at risk as water runs out in Gaza and called for humanitarian supplies to be let in. It said its newly relocated base in the south is also running out of water as it takes in refugees, thousands of whom it said followed the evacuation order. UNRWA Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini said fuel needs to be brought in immediately to guarantee safe drinking water. If not, people will start dying of severe dehydration, among them young children, the elderly, and women. Water is now the last remaining lifeline. I appeal for the siege on humanitarian assistance to be lifted now, he said.